Hello, my soul friends. It's Victoria, the Soul Nurturer, again to offer the second part of the new moon solar eclipse video, where I just talked about my take on what's might be happening and what you might be feeling or experiencing or growing through. And I like to offer these sort of a hybrid of a meditation and a time for some soul reflections. Honestly, they help me. And when I record them and then I listen to them myself, I go through one process and just receive what I receive. And then I journal. I do another go. I listen to the video and take my journal out and write my reflections out. So this is for me as much as it is for you and for all of us, for us to do our own soul work, to contribute to the higher collective unfolding that we're experiencing. So I think too, in the future, I'm going to start with my meditation, because when I sit down to do a video in general, I get a little, well, I'll say excited. And I notice that and I just talk from my heart and my soul, and do look at my notes just as reminders of what I wanted to cover. But then when I watch these and I watch compassionately, I think, oh, honey, you're talking so fast because you're so excited. And so I'm saying excited when really, truly, it can be interpreted as fear or nervousness, which, by the way, if any of you have anxiety or feel nervous, it's the same thing physiologically as excitement. It's how we interpret it. So anyway, just talking out loud about next time, I think I'll start with a video of the meditation first, so I can drop down deeper into my soul wisdom from a more calm, peaceful, trusting place. And I think that's what we all need more of these days, right? So just again, a really brief reminder that we are having a solar eclipse on December 3rd at 11:42 p.m. Pacific time. Or December 4th. That a lot of people are just claiming it as December 4th because it's so close to December 4th. And an eclipse is either a lunar eclipse, which is a full moon, or a solar eclipse, which is the new moon. It's just intensified energy. I know one astrologer says, many I've heard say, eclipses are like a new moon on steroids, really heightened, intense energy. So even more call to nurture our souls, to take care of ourselves, to be really present to our needs, and really curious about what the potential of the celestial weather that Creator provides us, how it's helping us, in what way, and what is being revealed to be healed, what is being offered energetically to empower our purpose, our vision, our life. And I think that with the Sagittarius eclipse, it feels, just when I feel into it, it feels like the potential of joy, bringing joy to the hard things we've been growing through. And there's been a lot, hasn't there? Just as I mentioned in the other video, and I do encourage you to watch that one too. Frankly, I think we're all exhausted. And here we are in the end of the year, getting to the end of the year, one more month until 2022. And these last 2 years have really taken a toll on us, haven't they? So I feel like this solar eclipse, this new moon and Sagittarius conjunct Mars, Mercury, is giving us just it's a refresh. It's a invitation from our soul, from Creator, to pause and question, learn what we have just grown through. What did we learn? What are the lessons that we want to claim? I say that lessons learned is wisdom earned. So what wisdom do we want to carry forward into the new year? So this is a good time to do this work. So let's go ahead, shall we, and just drop in. So close your eyes if you're not driving, or if you can at this moment. If you prefer just to listen to the questions and get a sense of them, and maybe notice your initial reaction or response to them. Reaction means we're triggering something. There's some live wire in you that needs some healing. Response is that opening of that soul wisdom, okay? So that's a really good distinction to be aware of in general. With the energy as it's been this last year and the year before, there was lots to be triggered. Again, very purposeful. We were recognizing what was ours to still heal. I'm in a playful, already feeling the Sagittarius moon. I was thinking the other day, you know how people have the swear jars where you swear and you put some money in the jar and then there you've got all this money. I was thinking, well, we all could have made some extra money this last year, maybe 2020 as well, if we had a trigger jar. And a trigger jar is anytime you get triggered, you go put $5 in the jar. And then think about how much money you'd have that you could take to your therapist and help you work out all that stuff that needs to be healed. Anyway, okay. Playful energy is coming, people. For those of you who are a little empathetic and sensitive and can feel energy before it arrives, you may be feeling playful too. It's already igniting my playfulness. One last thing I want to say about astrology. I talk very general on these videos. The truth is, even though I've been following and studying astrology for a big chunk of my life, I'm still learning and I'm practicing in these videos and speaking to things that I don't often speak about because I'm more of an intuitive astrologer. But where was I going with that? I don't remember now. I lost it. Oh, well, let's go to meditation, shall we? If it comes back, I'll share it. All right, so go ahead and drop in. Close your eyes. Let's drop into our inner worlds and disconnect from our outer worlds and just come inside. This shelter for our soul needs to be the most comforting, safe, peaceful, loving place. This is part of your inner work. If we're inside of our minds and there's a lot of negative self-talk, that's not a very welcoming place, is it? Or if we're present to our bodies holding so much pain from the past, that's a knowing there's more work to be done or more healing. But just tuning in with compassion and curiosity. And if a meditation becomes too much, if you feel overwhelmed with emotion and you're not with someone who can support you, just open your eyes, get your journal out, do it from a more conscious place. That's fine. I do invite you to do whatever feels most comfortable. If you want to just close your eyes and listen to the questions right now, or if you want to get your journal out first and listen to the prompts. I'll try to pause a little bit more in between for you to write down some things, or if you need to, pause the video. So breathing in first what you most need in this moment, to be present to yourself, to claim this time for you. I'm working with a lot in myself and with many of my clients, and mostly I work with women. We have a few things in the way of our way that are kind of, in our collective experience as women, and maybe for some of us of a different generation, harder to move out and untie from the hook of feeling fearful of being too selfish if we are practicing our own self-care, if we are taking more time for ourselves. And then right next to that supercharged fear of being selfish is a question of worth. This is actually where I've been working with myself for the last, for a long time, but I'm actually doing a process right now, 21 days of looking at my relationship to worth, my self-worth, and all the many ways that I've had to fight for that or reclaim it, and how many times I go back into old patterns that limit my worth. So I'm sharing this because I think it's a collective thing for the feminine rising, the sacred feminine rising. So breathe into some worth, worthy of this time, worthy of this inner exploration, which is beautiful for Sagittarius energy. We want to explore. We can explore our minds and take our soul potential to new territory, to new possibilities. Just relaxing into this moment, and now I'm going to go ahead and Bring my meditation bowl to drop you even deeper. I'm not sure if you could hear that on Zoom, just imagining this vibrating, beautiful sound dropping you, an invitation to go even deeper. And as this is an eclipse, my first reflection prompt is this: to be real, be honest. Remember, Sagittarius wants us to be very honest. And sometimes Sagittarius can be very blunt with what it wants you to know. Trust what comes, whether you're just listening to your soul and your inner experience or you're journaling. With this prompt, where have you been hiding either your power, your truth, your potential? Where have you been hiding? Next question or prompt or reflection. And again, taking the question inward, pausing, and letting whatever wants to arise into your consciousness come forward. All is welcome. This might be a good time to put your hand over your heart and just reassure your mind, body, system, your soul that you're authorizing this information. It's safe for you to know what you need to know. It's safe for you to see what you need to see. It's safe for whatever needs to be revealed to be healed in its time, right? Okay. What is my soul calling me to take action on? And this may be that truth that you've been hiding underneath or avoiding, that this eclipse is, you're noticing it more in the darkness of your being, in those shadowy places. Ah, yes, this is my truth. This is what I need to take action with. What is your soul calling you to take action with? And this one is to help illuminate those beliefs that are blocking you or obstacles. And I know you'll know if you drop in and trust and allow what wants to come forward. What is in the way of my way? You know, there's that beautiful saying that what's in the way is the way. That is a beautiful way of saying what I'm saying. I mean, in other words, whatever that belief is, whatever that obstacle is part of the way because it's part of your healing. It's part of your work to do. What is in the way of your way? Next reflection. Am I rigidly holding on to any old patterns, beliefs, or philosophy that is limiting me? And I have the word rigid in there because Sagittarius can be kind of like, this is what I believe and this is right and there's only this one way. And I believe with all my heart, this is where all of us are invited into this shifting of any belief we're holding rigidly, fiercely, or righteously, that's in a righteous way. I don't talk well when I go into meditation. I'm in a whole different zone. But in a way that my way is the only way and my way is the right way. I think and feel so strongly this is a big part of the division. We need to allow a softening. Maybe this is where Neptune direct can help a softening with more compassion to see a higher way for the collective good. So again, the question, maybe I'll say it this way: where are you holding on to old patterns, beliefs, or a philosophy that is limiting you and your potential and your purpose and is not contributing to the collective unfolding, the collective highest good. Okay, I have a lot of questions for this time of reflection. I think that's the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius wants us to question everything, really deepen into a philosophy that is more supportive and more conducive with our soul potential. Okay. What would I love to do, try, or experience in my future? Perhaps with this one, you'll have some images coming, some vision of a place you want to visit, a training you want to do, a person you want to get to know, or you and your higher potential embodied with all the qualities that are wanting to be cultivated within you. So what would you love to do? What would you love to try? Something that's been calling to you that maybe you have been putting off or been allowed fear to get in your way. What would you love to try? What would you love to experience? What kind of adventure do you want to go on? Your mind, or with training or school or travel? What does your future look like with all of these possibilities? I hope this question evokes some joy in you. That was the intention there. Okay. Another question here. Actually, I have two more. What message does your soul have for you to connect you to your potential and your passion and your joy? So in other words, just listening for a moment. What does your soul want to tell you, share with you, advise you for connecting to your joy, for your connecting to your passion and your purpose and your potential? Listen. Maybe there's an image. Maybe there's a loving message your soul's been waiting to deliver to you right now. Receive it. A big part of healing and transformation and nurturing our soul potential is the ability to receive what you need to unfold what is wanting to emerge through you. So receive that loving message. And don't worry if you didn't get anything right now. You can journal later, or you can just stay open. You know, sometimes when we're reconnecting to our soul wisdom, it takes a little while to get that flow of connection established again. So it's okay. There's no wrong or right here. Okay, this last question may be a whole journey of like more than a couple minutes here. You might want to do this a little bit longer, but just start this process with this question, journal it or journey with it, which means expand it, keep going with it, because there's a lot to harvest from this year. So the question, the prompt is, what lessons have I learned that will help me in my future? That's a juicy question. Remember, lessons learned is wisdom earned. So what have you learned during this very chaotic, uncertain, ever-changing, ever-surprising year? Still happening, still unfolding. We're not through it yet. But at this point, listen, we've grown through a lot. It's harvest time. This is another sacred harvest right here. What have you learned? And how can you apply that even to this moment and especially to your future going forward? So just breathing into this beautiful energy, imagining your body saturated with this energy of Sagittarius, playful, honest, trusting. I think of Sagittarius as the inner child emerging, that potential, that joyful, yes, I'll try that. Yes, now's the time. It's never too late. It's my choice. I'm ready. It's my life. Sagittarius is connected to its fire. So let a fire be lit inside of you with joy to fulfill the potential of your soul. All right. So I invite you to come on back now if you had your eyes closed. And I do really want to encourage you to, if you didn't journal these prompts, go through it at another time. That's how I do. I usually go through, just listen, and I get a lot of imagery. And then I'll journal, and then I'll get more words and more sometimes direction. So I invite you to do it both ways. And I'd love to know how this works for you. And if you feel bold, and I'm always inviting boldness, especially for us women who have in the past kept our, intentions or our philosophy, or our hopes, our dreams, our desires a little quiet for fear of being, it's a real fear where they've got those trolls out there and people who don't agree with us. And still, we must rise up strong and still be bold with our gifts, our purpose, our potential, and let everything else fall away and just focus forward. So I'd love for you to be bold for your life. Rise up with the fire of Sagittarius optimism and joy, and put in the comments something, one of your prompt answers, something you learned from 2021 would be really probably universal. What you've learned, we are all collectively learning. So I think that would be a really cool one to share. So I'm looking forward to your comments and your likes, and share the video if you feel called. Thanks for being with me and sharing this unfolding journey with me. It's a joy to support you. I'll see you next time. Happy December and happy solar eclipse in Sagittarius. Rise with your joy, your purpose, and your soul knowing. Take good care until next time.